Hey, my people. Wow, it's a beautiful evening here, man. It's a beautiful evening. It's a beautiful evening. I'm quite late for the show today. Hey, man. I needed to fix up some certain things, and that's why I'm coming late a little bit. All right. So we're gonna go straight to the section this evening. And I know it's gonna be a blessing to you. It's gonna help you a lot. So tell someone we're here now. All right. Let someone know I'm here tonight. Let someone know. Tell a friend. All right. Tell a friend. Tell a colleague. Tell someone the show has started. Repost it. Someone's about to learn something this evening that will change their life forever. All right. Let it come. Let it come. Let it come. Let's learn together. Pick some thoughts tonight that's going to help you, going to lift you up. For the first time in your life, you are going to be learning how to see things differently. All right, you're going to see assets. Good evening, Mr. Wally Daudu. Good to have you here tonight. Awesome. So keep joining. Let's make it work today. It's gonna be awesome. All right, it's going to be awesome. You're learning. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn what some people accidentally come across, but you are gonna learn it in a way that from today, anywhere that you go in the world, and I dare to say to you that anywhere that you go in the world, Compel framework is going to help you. Okay, for the first time forever, you are learning how to use real estate to become rich. Right? This is what the world truly knows that most people don't know about. I'm sharing this with you today. I'm giving you this framework in the little time that I have. I'm going to share the idea with you, the thought. I'm going to just break it down, and you can use this. You can use it from today, begin to buy asset. If you sell, you can also use it to sell more. Everything that you do, the first time in a long time, you will be able to see assets differently. Land is not going to be the same for you and with you again after tonight. I promise this. This is my promise. Oh, Clint, how you doing? Good to have you here today. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining me. All right. It's awesome. Let's have more people. All right. Sharing beautiful stuff with you today. The Compel framework, or what I call the Compel strategy, the framework. This is how to become wealthy, how to use land, how to buy land that will make you wealthy for sure. How do you do this? How can you use it to make you wealthy for sure? The things that the people of the world have been doing for centuries. You're right. How can you leverage the same thing? How can you do this? What can you learn? How can you use this principle to change your life forever? I promise you, this is not going to be the same again. Your life will never be the same again. Your economy will never be the same again. All right? You will never be the same again. See, many years ago, one of my students came to me and said that he met a man, wanted the man to buy a property. But the man certainly did not buy the property. And I gave the lady a body of my work called the Compel strategy, and which I'm sharing this principle from. All right. And so I sent the book to her to give to the man. And she gave the book to this man. And she later called me about 2-3 days later that the man read the book and called her and said, sorry, please, can I just have 2 plots of that land? Literally, the book was what sold her. And she was able to pick that today. So you are going to be learning the principle. You're going to be learning the fundamental principles that change everything. If you know you want to do that, thanks for coming here today. And I'm so honored to have you guys with me tonight. All right, so I'm going to start quickly because I don't have all the time. I'm going to start quickly sharing principles with you, that will change your life. And I want you to pay quick attention to all I'm going to be saying today. And over time, I will speak fast. Just pay attention, listen to it again and again. And also remember to share the video. If you pick value from it, share this video, share some of your content, hashtag TidyCash, and let your friend knows what you're learning and how you're going to be using this. And some of you haven't heard me today. You will be moved to want to move your life to the next level, asset wise. If there's any way I can help you, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'm very certain that we are going to get back to you immediately you want us to help you. All right, so that is key. And so take this thing with all, somebody will call it alacrity. It's going to help you a lot. Now, let me start by telling you today that house does not appreciate in value. Listen. That's what I'm starting with today. That looks like a bombshell. House does not appreciate in value. By the way, house depreciate in value. And that is why the law of every land, every country give you, a kind of compensation for the house that you built. Because it's being said that every year that you build a house, the house begins to depreciate in value. So house does not appreciate in value. So many people do not really understand this. And so they wonder what exactly, I'm going to buy this house, I'm going to do that, which is not bad on its own to buy a house, especially if you're buying multi-family apartment, then because house is literally built on it depends. Multi-family apartment, except the entirety of the house is built on the land itself. But house does not appreciate in value. You can keep making money. The only kind of house that you can place value on is not the value of the house. It is the value of what you are earning from the house. And that's why I'm a student and I'm an advocate for multi-family apartment. Because the more money, what I call the NOI, which you can learn from in my book, Real Estate Cash Flow Machine, the NOI, which is your net operating income. The number, the multipliers effect added to what we call the net operating income is what determines the value, the worth of an apartment. But the house on its own, a building on its own, a house built on a land, depending on the size of the land, because ultimately it's not the house that will give you the value, it is the land that has the value. So the real value is in the land, not in the house. I will say that again. The real value is in the land, not in the house. So I've just given you the first thought today. The value, house does not appreciate in value. Then what appreciates in value is the land. So what are we going to start with now? The core of all property investment, the core of all property investment is land. I will say that again. The core of all property investment, the core of all property investment is land. So what am I talking about? This is what I'm saying. Property investment, the core of it, the bedrock in which it is built on land. So if you understand that, so the real value is in the land, not in the house. So the core of all property investment, the core, the real thing, the what the Yoruba guys will say on the street, the cocoa of it is the land. So when you then understand that is the land, not the house, what then becomes more important to you is about how you go about the land. How do you go about the land? How do you go about making sure that the land that you buy is the real deal? Is the land that you buy is going to make you money for sure? I don't know about you, but when we were growing up, I used to have this kind of stuff. You will see people that would make an excuse, and one of the excuses that we make is either in foresight or hindsight. They will say, oh, I wish I bought that land when I was being told about it. Or somebody will say, oh, I bought the land, but I wish I had more. All right. So, like a friend of my father bought a land very close to a place where we're building an estate right now, about 30 acres of land estate in an area in Lagos called Ikotun, and about 2 minutes away from where we are building the estate, 2 minutes walk away from where we are building the estate. And by the way, there's an offer on that estate. I'm going to tell you at the end of this program if you're able to wait, and this offer is amazing, and it's going to be based on the principles I'm sharing with you. If it makes sense to you, fine. If it doesn't make sense, you can always walk away. But this is it. So my friend father bought the land less than, I think, about 15 years ago. He bought the land, or more than that, and then he bought the land for maybe about 80,000 or 90,000. And at the end of the day, my friend's father has passed on, and the land is now worth, it's less than 300 square meter of land, less than 300 square meter. And the land is now being offered 14 million, and more than 10 people are on it wanting to buy it. And beside the land is where 2 minutes walk away is where we have this particular kind of asset. I'm going to tell you, if you are there to wait till the end of this meeting, I'm going to tell you that offer. And if you have a brother or you have somebody, just look at the principle I'm sharing with you, and they can latch on that offer if they want to. But I can tell you, the offer is 100% profit because of the strategy I'm about to share now. All right, so it's amazing, that is what that is. So today, my friend's father, in hindsight, will have said, I wish I could get more. I wish I had the money to buy that process. And somebody else will wish, I wish I did. Now, both parties are living in regret. The only thing is that one wished that he did more, one wished that he did some. But, the difference between both of them is that when you look at a time when they invested, they were investing based on guesswork. They were investing based on instinct. But you see, the people that create abundance from real estate, they're never investing based on guesswork. Neither are they investing based on instinct. They're investing based on these two things. And listen to it carefully. They're investing based on framework, and they're investing based on design. Now, wealthy people buy assets to become wealthy for sure because they have a design, they have a formula, if you want, and they have a framework that is the formula is operating on to go about everything. And I want to tell you quickly that I have people from Australia, I have people from the UK, I have people from South Africa, I have students in Botswana, I have students in Ghana, I have students in Lesotho, I have students in Namibia, I have students in different parts of the world that are put into practice what I'm sharing with you today, and they have had amazing results. By the way, this principle, this framework can be used by anyone, anywhere in the world. You can have students in Nigeria, I have students in Lagos, I have students in Ogun State, I have students in Ibadan, I have students in Port Harcourt, I have students in Anambra, I have students in Abuja, okay, I have students in Calabar, and I've seen all of them produce amazing results by following this framework. Now, so this framework today is not just for the people that are rich, is also for the people that want to be rich for sure. And so if you're here today and you're watching me, or you're watching the replay of this program, and you want to be rich for sure, and you want to use real estate, you need to understand this. Let me quickly say this to you as I move on. That the first business that God gives to man is land. The first business that God gives to man is real estate. And real estate for many, many years has always been the business of royals. By the way, the word landlord got its derivative from that word. Is the people that owns the land, that the people that are using the land give money to. That's where we derive the word landlord from. And you know what? So the royals own land because royalty is royal income is what we eventually call rental income. Because rental income is the income of royalties. That means people that get things once and get paid forever. So how can you begin to understand this process? How can you begin to understand this process? If you're at the age of like 40 or in your like 35 and above, and you live in a country called Nigeria, you will understand what I'm about to tell you. There was a time in Nigeria that we have, if you want to put on a footwear for school and all of that, you have to use this set of sandal called bata, and what Yoruba eventually called bata. That's where Yoruba people, in derivative, begin to derive the word bata, because it was a complaint that was popular in this part of the world. The Yoruba look for a word to then describe this set of kind of stuff that we put on our feet, and they call it bata. But it's called bata because that is the name of the company that was producing this set of stuff. And at that time also, there another set of company that produce, if you want to buy cooler, you want to buy household stuff in Nigeria where you can store things. There's another company called Eleganza. If you still walk around today, you will see the company, you will see the buildings they own in Oregon of Lagos. They own several buildings there. Some have been sold. They still own a lot. Eleganza, that is owned by Sir Razak Okoya. And so that is there. And that time too, if you were going to school, at the time, if you're going to school and you're using ball pen to write, you can either choose between Bic or Eleganza pen. By the way, most of us, when we're growing up, we use Eleganza pen because Eleganza pen gives you, it's more smooth and it's cheaper for us. And so that is it. The big pen seems to be more expensive at the time, and so we seems to buy Eleganza pen. Now, the man that created this company is a man called Sir Razak Okoya. It's Mr. They call him Alaji, they call him Chief. It's quite an elderly man now in his 80s, and very interesting philosophy that he embodied as regards to how to build wealth. And if you had the time, you could also take time to make a study of him. I made a huge study of him by privilege to be able to understand some certain things I'm about to also tell you about him. In my book, The Compel Strategy, I call it the Eleganza phenomenon. And what does that mean? The Sir Eleganza was making money. Chief was making money from his business, and guess what happened? As he was making the money, he was also making sure that he followed what I call the CAC phenomenon. What does that mean? He generated cash from the business, he put them into assets, and the asset also produces cash flow. So he was repeating this process again and again. According to him, in one of my studies, in one of my research of him, he said there was a time in his life and in his business journey that for 10 years, the manufacturing process for him in Nigeria wasn't making money. And as a result of that, the money that he was using to pay his staff was being taken from the real estate portfolio he has built. So what does that mean to you? It means that he has built a large portion of real estate that is helping him to be able to pay. Some of you must have been in a building, must have seen an estate on front of VGC called Eleganza Garden. Some of you must have seen a place before you get to VGC called Oluwanishola. Some of you must have seen other estates that can be mentioned in Lagos today that belongs to him and his entire company. But I'm not, what am I saying all of that? Because he understood some certain things that most people did not understand. He's able to understand that the core of all investment, real estate investment, is land. So he was building this. Before most of us were ever thought of going to Ibejuleki, he has been positioned in that axis of Lagos. You go to Ikoyi of Lagos, you will see amazing plazas there. You will go to VI, you will see amazing buildings there. And this is the people that you can boldly say understand the fabrics and the They have a deep understanding of real estate and how to take advantage of it, because real estate has tendency to do two things for you. It can help you to build wealth, and it can help you to preserve your wealth. So the wealthy people, is either they are using real estate to do both, or they are using it for one of the two. That is, they use real estate to build wealth and preserve it, or some use the build wealth somewhere else and use real estate to preserve the wealth. Because real estate has an intrinsic value. Why am I saying all this to you? I'm saying this to you because by the time as I lay this principle down, I need you to begin to see real estate from a different perspective. That getting rich in real estate is not a luck, it is a law. And it is not an instant thing, it is a design thing. And this understanding will change your life. This understanding will help you to better know you, and you will have access into an abundant life that you can use it to build an amazing life. So Solomon the king says, a good man leave an inheritance for his children. And he also said this. He said, riches and lands, riches and properties are inheritance from the fathers. In other words, one of the inheritance that is expected of you to give to your children is lands. Lands that has tendency to create wealth. And so if you understand, this thing, you are going to change everything for yourself. So this land has tendency to change everything for you. All right, so then how do you go about using all these things? So what exactly do I call compel strategy? Or what do I call compel framework? The word compel is an acronym. All right, it's an acronym. Number one, outside of the word compel, meaning to something that push you to do something. Compel framework is an acronym that helps you to get something done. And the first acronym in the compel is the word CO. And so what does that word CO represent? The word CO in the compel represents commerce. All right, so one of the first things that you need to know about real estate and how it can use it to create abundance for yourself is you need to know where to look. Most people do not know where to look, and most people do not know where to look, and because they never have a clear understanding of the difference between possessor and investor. They never have this clarity, and as a result of not having this clarity, they give excuses why they are not going to buy a particular kind of land. They give excuses why some certain things they are not going to do. People talk about distance, and they don't know the difference between distance and economic substance. And so because they have never been told or never been taught the difference between distance and substance, and how there is a difference between them, and how to know that what exactly you are looking for. So in a compel framework, the first thing that you need to look, if you want to create an abundance in anywhere as far as real estate is concerned, is to follow the framework of the capital CO, which is commerce. Now, you need to understand this, that real estate is not a global business. Real estate has a global perspective, but is a local business. I will say this again. Real estate is a local business with a global perspective. Now, if real estate is a local business with a global perspective, you need to understand the local market of real estate for you to be able to create abundance from it. You need to know the difference between the emerging market and the hot market. And knowing full well that the full wealth, if you want to emerge into wealth, you need to have a clear understanding of the emerging market and the difference between the emerging market and the hot market. The hot market is good, but hot market is only for you if you are rich, because hot market is already a popular market. If you want to get rich, you don't buy what is popular, you rather buy what is going to be popular. You don't buy what is popular, you buy what makes you prosper. So I'm going to show you how all of these things play out. And I'm showing you the framework, the questions you need to ask, the things you need to pay attention to, how you need to look at things, what you need to look at, and how you need to go about these things to be able to create abundance for yourself. And I dare to challenge you. This has nothing to do with just living in one place. I'm shooting this stuff today from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm in the capital city of Lagos right now, in an area called Ikeja, Lagos. And I'm shooting this video, but you can use this principle anywhere in the world. You can use this principle in Ogun State, you can use this principle in Lagos, you can use this principle in Ibadan, you can use this principle in Calabar, you can use this principle in Abuja, you can use this principle anywhere you are, in Ghana, in Kumasi. You can use this principle in Pretoria, in Northwest, in Gauteng, so on. You can use this in Limpopo. You can use it anywhere. You can go to Gaborone. You can use this in Francistown. You can use it in Port Elizabeth. You can use this thing in Mazaro, in Lesotho. You can use this thing anywhere, everywhere. Why? Because a principle that works all the time. Let me give you one instance. One time I was in Kigali in Rwanda, and I was putting the framework to test, and I started looking at the areas that's going to produce abundance. And I found out some certain people, and I even created a relationship with them. And I saw how people were making money, even in Kigali, Rwanda, in real estate. Because there is no country on the planet where real estate cannot make you money. But you see, you need to know what helps you to make money and how you can make money faster. And why people can get richer faster in some places than other places. It's principle, it's pattern, it's framework. It's not luck, it's law. Now, when this law is practiced, you become lucky. So the moment you understand this law and you begin to practice them, you become lucky. And people see you and say, oh, he's so lucky. He bought the land for 5 million. Now in the 5 years time, the land is now 25. The land is now 40 million. The land is now 70 million. How could someone pick up a land for 750,000? And in a year, the land is now 6 million. Somebody will say it's luck. But that's not the most interesting part for me, because in the long run, the person that also get this lucky may not know how he got lucky. Because if you don't know how you get lucky, you can't repeat the luck. And so what that means is, like someone defined luck, he said luck is laboring under correct knowledge. That means the moment you know how to labor under correct knowledge, you will get lucky. So point is, when law is consistently and predictable practice, it creates luck for you in that aspect, because luck is law, laboring under correct knowledge. I mean, if you are laboring under a correct knowledge in a specific area of your life, you seem to get lucky in that aspect of your life. And that's what is happening to a lot of people. And that's how, when people don't know the knowledge they are laboring on, when people don't know the concept they are practicing, they are even afraid. They just felt, oh, God just want me to make money. And that's why some people make money in real estate without knowing how it happens. All right? They don't know how it happens. Just, wow, when I bought that land, I don't even know. I don't know it's going to turn to this. Because this is what I found out. And that's where my curiosity really started. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when people would tell me, man, I made money from that land, but I didn't even know how it happens. I was talking to somebody in Gaborone a few years ago, and the lady was telling me how she made fantastic money from land after I started sharing the compel framework with them. And they just suddenly realized that is what I did. They were able to make about $1 million puller in less than 3 months of applying this principle from almost nothing. And guess what happened? But because they have not taken grip of the pattern and the framework and worked the framework, it's just like a guesswork for them. And so they were not able to repeat that process. Because if they have repeated that process, they will have created massive fortune for themselves. They will have created massive fortune for themselves. And that's what I'm telling you today, how to make this work. For you to make this work, the first word in this framework is CEO, which is commerce. Commerce is important. You see, you can't make money in real estate without commerce. You see, always look at where the enterprise is going and is growing. Always look at where the enterprise is going and where it is growing. Because wherever there is commerce, there's going to be a lot that is happening. Wherever there is commerce, there's going to be a lot that is happening. So if you want to buy a land in a place and somebody has taken you there, you might even have driven a while to get to the place. People practically get discouraged because of the distance. But you don't get wealthy in real estate looking at distance. You get wealthy in real estate looking at the economic substance. So it is the economic substance, not the physical distance, that determines fortune in real estate. And the economic substance is predicated on commerce. Where is commerce? Where is what is the proximity to it? So there are questions you will need to ask yourself. You know, the moment you're able to ask yourself some of these questions and make it a kind of checklist for yourself, guess what happened? You will begin to see the missing structure, and you will be able to look at the money connection. That's what helped me. I buy some assets. Some people don't really understand it. And then I buy this asset. I remember one of the men that I consulted and I helped, he was able to pick up an asset for, I think he picked the asset for about 50 million. That was about 3-4 years ago. He picked the asset for 50 million. And last year, November, it was offered about 300 million. That's 5 years. It was offered 300 million for the asset. And he sold the asset because he needed to do something else. Now, this is an asset he bought for less than 50 million. He followed the compare strategy. And when the man called me, he gave me some money. He appreciated me because when he was buying, all that I showed to him was the compare strategy. I showed him the compare strategy. I don't follow what is popular. I follow what gets me prosper. And if you want to be rich in real estate, you need to know that this is not a popularity contest. This is a prosperity contest. Now, guess the word. It's not a popularity contest. It's a prosperity contest. So you need to understand the contest and the concept of prosperity, and it's not contest of popularity. So most people buy things when it is popular. Let me quote the word of a great admirable man, Sir Warren Buffett. It says that when you are buying, when it is very popular, it's already too late. So what happened is the prosperity, the people that buy it when it is popular make the people that buy it when it is not popular to prosper. I'll say that again. The people that buy things when it is popular make the people that buy it when it is not popular to prosper. So if you want to prosper, you don't need to just buy things. You need to have a framework and follow the framework, and you're going to get rich. So just like that man, 50 million, he turned it to 300 million in about 6 months. And now this is what he regretted, because he later told me that if he had waited, he would have, in another 6 months of that transaction, he would have collected 450 million on that deal. What happened? Because the compare framework always works. So the first thing is commerce. All right, the first thing is commerce, and there are questions you need to ask yourself as far as commerce is concerned. What's the first thing you need to ask yourself? You need to know that where is the money? Always look out for where the enterprise is going. Always look out for where the enterprise is going. All right, where is the money? Where is the money? Where is the money? Where is the money? Where is the money going to? And where would the money be? Where is the money? The commerce question is, where is the money? Because wherever there is commerce, there is money. Wherever there is commerce, there is money. Wherever there is commerce, there is money. Where is the money? Where is the money going to? Where would the money be? Now, you need to pay attention to that. All right? So when you hear things like, oh, Dangote refinery, and things that are happening in that access. When you hear that all the time, I was talking to you about a place called Itunra Gardens and in Ogun State, Abeokuta precisely. And you see the closeness of that place to Kuto, to Agricargo and all of that. That is commerce. That is commerce. That is commerce. The closest 40 minutes away from there is you get to Berger, you get to Powerhouse in Lagos. You are in between, infused of the two powerhouses. houses. All right. So the point is, it's commerce. So you need to look at commerce, because commerce symbolizes three things. Number one, where the money is, where the money is going, and where the money will be. So you need to be clear about that. And this is everywhere. It's in every state. It's in every community. Where is the money? All right. Where is the money? Okay. Where is the money? Where is the new business emerging? Where are the enterprises? Be on the lookout for where the enterprises is growing. Where is the new business is growing? What is happening around? That is commerce. Commerce is the bedrock of the appreciating value of an asset. So if you don't have commerce, don't commerce. Hello. If you don't have commerce, don't commerce. In other words, you begin in your acquisition of asset by first looking at these things. And you see, this is what a lot of people don't see, because how you're looking at things determines what we're going to see. I've seen people miss out on asset because they were driven by sentiment, not prosperity assignment. So they were saying, oh, I don't want to buy that place. That place is far. The question is, let me give you an instant. Today I was on a call with one of my students, one of my mentees, and I put a call through to him because I saw something that he was talking about the other time. And I was asking him a very fundamental question. You see, it's not where the land is. No, it's not where the land is. It's not where the house is. We're not going to be building estates in 5 countries right now if it's not based on the fact that we are following the framework, the compare framework. Because we will have to, Lagos is okay. But if I can use this framework, some of our team, some of our partners are using this framework right now to create fortune for themselves in Mazzaro, Lesotho. Some of our partners are using this framework right now to create fortune for themselves in Gaborone in Botswana. Some of our partners are using this to create fortune for themselves in Northwest in Province, South Africa, in Gauteng, in Province, in Pretoria. They're using these things. Why? Because a framework is not a guesswork. So if there's no commerce, don't commerce. Somebody need to put that online. If there is no commerce, when it comes to acquisition of asset, if there is no commerce, don't commerce. All right? Because commerce is very important. Okay, commerce is very important. Before the end of this video today, I'm going to tell you what the acronym for a city is. And then you will realize that why city then is a prosperity enabler. Because when there is no commerce, there cannot be a city. Because city is driven by commerce. Because it's an aggregate of people gathering together. So look at this. The first thing is commerce. What are the questions of commerce? Where is the money? Where is the money going to? Where is the enterprise growing? Yes, when there is no commerce, don't commerce. Thank you. So the point is, you have to ask yourself this question again and again. You have to ask yourself. You see, the moment you get this, you are going to help. If you're an estate consultant, real estate person, you're going to help your client to create fortune. I have devoted the rest of my life to make people rich. And you know what? Being rich to me means residual income crystallizes happiness. That's what being rich means to me. So I want to help you to create assets that can, build abundance and help you to go into your world. So as an individual, this is amazing. As a group, as someone that want to buy into asset, this is amazing, because this is the framework I've used in the last 12 years of my life, and it has not failed me. You see, our company is built on this framework. We build our company on this framework. We don't buy a land without this framework. Everything that we buy is follow this framework, because you know why? We're not just interested in what we sell. We're also interested in what will make you excel. So point is, you can do this on your own if you want. Just understand the framework. See, when I teach this framework to people, when people come to me and I teach this framework, I charge them about 300,000, and I'm sharing it with you today just because I want to help you. In 2023, one thing I realized is that we Africans have to help Africans. We have to help ourselves. We have to help ourselves to get better. And that's why at the end of today's video, please help someone else by aggressively and passionately and obsessively sharing this video, because someone on your timeline is about to make a mistake, buying assets based on emotion, not economy. And so you need to help them so that you can help you. So the first thing is commerce. If there is no commerce, don't commence. If there is no commerce, don't commence. You see, most people have commenced without commerce and they are living in offense. So the point is, if you are commencing without commerce, you are living in an offense. So you need to correct this perspective today. Look out for commerce. Look out for commerce, man. All right. Look out for commerce. The moment you can look out for commerce, many things will change. I'm going to be giving you some timelines, some things that you may not have seen, but because of commerce and because of things that I've seen, and the way I look at the environment, the way I look at the news. What news are you listening to? Do you know that every news that you listen to is showing you how to prosper if you know how to use the news? The challenge with a lot of people is when they listen to economic news, when they listen to all of these things, they were consuming it, but they don't have the gift of interpretation and gift of perception to be able to interpret this as an advantage to themselves. You see, the hearing ears and the seeing eyes are gift from the Lord, but this hearing ears and the seeing eyes, how you use it can bring a lift to your life. They are gifts, but how you use them can bring a lift to you. So most people listen to the news. Most people hear the news. Most people, they surf the internet and they see the trending news. They hear about what is happening here, but they are not able to put it in the context of commerce, in the context of economic landscape, and so that they can take up these things and use it to change their life. If you hear that the government of this place is doing this, if you hear that government is spending money here, how do you interpret those things? And that's how people create asset. That's how people create fortune. And I'm giving you today, I need you to make use of this. Because if you make this of use, you will realize that real estate is not just for those people that are wealthy. Real estate is also a surest channel for you to become wealthy. Because look at human history. Look at human history, and something you will find out that real estate is a system of wealth creation. And that is sure system of wealth creation. Is a sure system of wealth creation. But what I found out in my 4 decades on earth is that most people do not know how to use this sure system of wealth creation. It's real estate is also God's social justice system. That if you truly understand how to use real estate, you can use it to create your own state in life and leave an inheritance for your children. But what I want to find out, most people don't know how to use it. Most people don't know how to use it. So the first framework, if you want to create wealth, buy real estate to become wealthy for sure. Think about the commerce. Where is it? Where is the money? Where is the money going? Where will the money be? How can I own a portion of it? How can I take a chunk of this and put it in my own portfolio, legally, credibly, protectively? How can I do that? All right? How can I do that? I have a very respectable man that I knew about 14 years ago. When most people weren't taking advantage of Ibejuleki, of Awoyaya, and all of that, he was practically buying an asset. Guess what? He was buying an asset. That in 2021, he built himself an amazing house in Banana Island. He was buying an asset. He was buying assets. At the point, people were looking at him and wondering, why is he buying out of this asset dear? He understood what most people did not understand. Because being poor is just something. And what is that? Most people ignore opportunities, or most people are blind to opportunities repeatedly. So the moment you understand that, the moment you know how to spot opportunity and seize it, everything about your life is going to change. When you don't know how to spot opportunities and then you don't know how to seize opportunities, you are going to have a big challenge. And that is the problem with a lot of people. That is the issue. So the first thing is spot commerce. I hope that helped you now. Spot commerce. Because without commerce, you should not commence. And you see, commerce are everywhere. Because you see, real estate is a local place. It's a local market. is a local place. There are places you go to in Lagos, for instance, that you will be shocked. There are places you go to in other states and you hear how much they are paying for rent in some environment, and you're going to be wondering, are you joking? You see, real estate is a local business with a global perspective. But because people don't understand this, because if you truly understand it, this is what you ask yourself: why do you live in Nigeria and you are going to buy a house in Dubai? Why? Why will you live in Nigeria and you own a house in America? Because if it is just a thing about where you stay or anywhere it is, you will not have bought in that long miles away. But because it's not about the distance, it's about the economic substance. So the first thing you need to know is commerce. And I need to bring this to you, that land is about people. Okay, land is about people, and its value is attached to the kind of people that surround it. Land is about people, and its value is determined by the value of the kind of people, by the kind of people that surround it. I'll say this again. Land is about people, and its value is determined by the value of the kind of people that surround it. So land is about people. So when commerce begin to happen in a place, a kind of people begin to move into a particular place. And that automatically changes everything. When commerce begin to happen in Lagos Island, and things begin to happen in that access, guess what happened? The value of the asset begin to go, because land is not about land. Land is about people. Land does not have value on its own. It is people that put value on land. So land is not about land. Land is about people. Land is about people. It's not about land. So if land is about people, that is the power that commerce bring, because it's about people. People gather, people carry out transactions. And so because of this, as you begin to position in the proximity to where this transaction is being carried out, the law of demand and supply begin to play out in your life. Because when more people are demanding for a small portion of a thing, that scarcity nature increases the value of that stuff. All right? So the kind of people that surround a place determine the value that that place will be. Because remember, the word there is value. So who places value on land? Land does not place value on itself. Humans pay value on land. Because human place value on it, they pay for the value. So people now place for the value, because the value that human place on itself, it is the value that land worth. So it's about people. It's not about land itself. So what does that mean to you? It means that wherever there is commerce, the money flows. Why does the money flow? Because people gather. People are exchanging things with themselves. People are buying things with themselves. People need to do stuff. Right? People need to do stuff. So it's about people. It's about value. It's about people. It's about value. It's about people. It's about value. So it's not just about land on its own. So let me say this to you quickly. I wrote in my note that it is the flow of wealth in the land that determines the value of the land itself. It is the flow of wealth in the land that determines the value of the land itself. So it is the flow of wealth. So people gather. People are carrying out transactions. You go to a labor market. People are carrying out transactions. There are, if I could create a multipliers effect in that axis, which I'm going to show to you today. People are carrying out transactions. The more you can increase the mobility in an area, the more you can get more people to come into a zone, the more you are increasing the multipliers effect of an asset. So what happened is you are paying attention to these things. Come on, you're paying attention to these things. I hope you're picking value, right? So that's the first thing. Then what is the next word? Apart from the CEO, which is the commerce, the next M represents migration. Migration. Now, what does migration mean? The fundamental question of migration is, where are people moving to? Now remember that money has a nature. Money moves. And wherever people are, and there is opportunity there, and wherever people gather, they will carry out a transaction. And whenever they carry out a transaction, the convenient means of carrying out a transaction is what we call money. There is an energy that is released wherever people gather. That energy that is being released to appreciate the effort of each other. So, think about migration. Now, let me give you an instant now. Did you see that couple of people in Canada, in the United Kingdom, are making more money right now from the value of real estate? All right, because more people, especially from the African descent, are moving to that part of the world and need a place to stay. The land in, I'm going to be having a meeting this week with a counselor from a place in Canada. A friend of mine is in Nigeria now, and I'm going to be meeting with him in the course of the week. And we're going to talk about real estate. And I'm going to be practically looking at the framework and all the conversation. I put on my spectacle of the compel framework. And everything that you tell me about any asset anywhere, I only listen to you from the spectacle of my compel framework. You see, and it has never failed me because it's not emotional. It's by design. So look at the movement. Where are people moving toward? Remember I told you before, and if there's anything you need to write down, if there's anything you need to put on this word right now, because somebody needs to learn this, that real estate is a local business with a global perspective. Real estate is a local business with a local perspective. I've helped students from Delta State. I've had people that by following the compare framework, they've been able to create fortune for themselves in Delta region. Why is it so? It's because they understand what I've just shown to you today. Now, so migration. Now, write this down if you can. Money don't hibernate, money migrates. All right? Money don't hibernate, money migrates. Money don't hibernate, money migrates. So where are people moving to? Where are businesses moving to? All right? You see, where people are moving to, where businesses are, you think about that point and you begin to see things in a different way. Because real estate is a local business. The fortune is under your feet, where you are, in the surrounding where you are. So you need to understand that before you look for the greener pasture, why not look for the grass that is green near you? Anywhere that you live, real estate is amazing because there is a framework around it. The reason why a lot of people have been struggling with creating fortune with real estate is that they thought it's just going to be by luck or by guesswork. And the unfortunate situation is many people, 90 to 95% of people that sell real estate does not understand what I'm telling you today. They don't know it. They tell people that you can make money in real estate. But let me tell you something today. Land are not created equal because of framework. The value of land are not equal everywhere. And what is it? Because of framework. So the moment you understand this, the moment you know it, you begin to understand that money does not hibernate, money migrates. So you're looking at the migration concept of money and people. Where are people moving to? Where are the businesses? Where are they moving to? All right. So if this thing is about migration, I want to pay attention. If you want to make money in real estate, pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. When you get to a place, pay attention. All right. I remember one time I was in Botswana and I was literally paying attention. My partner and I, we were in the city and I was paying attention. I was going around. I was asking questions. I was following the framework, the methodology, and I'm looking at everything in a different way and all of these things. And then we were able to see what we were looking for. We saw the commerce. Ooh, We saw the migration. We saw the master plan of the city. We look at where people are moving to, how people move from one place to the other. And I begin to look at it. And we're able to take advantage of what it is. Because see, money does not hibernate. Money migrates. So if you don't know that money migrates, money must have left where you think you were standing, and you are still there, and money is somewhere else. And the person that is rightly positioned become wealthy because they are rightly positioned. And if you are rightly positioned, you will change your economic position in the shortest period of time. So migrate. Focus on where the money migrates. Most of us need more of value migration than physical migration. Most of us need to learn how to see how asset is migrated and where the movement of flow of money is right now. As far as real estate is concerned, it is not a straight line, it is a circle. The fortune in real estate is not straight line, it is a circle. And most people don't understand this circle or put themselves in the advantage side of this circle. As a result of that, they're just wondering. So a very zealous person show up and say, buy land. Land always appreciate. By who says so? Because you see, land don't always appreciate. It is human that appreciate lands. I'll say this again. Land does not appreciate. Wow. It is human that appreciate land. In other words, land does not appreciate on its own. So when you hear the word land always appreciate, is by people that don't understand the framework. Land don't always appreciate, my friend. It is human that appreciate land. Okay. So many years ago, a man by the name of Walt Disney saw a land that whether to put the word Disney on. The land had nothing on it. It's rats run around the place and people were wondering what's going on here. Okay, and practically, guess what happened? They appreciate this land. They appreciate the land. They appreciate the land. They increase the value because they place value on it. And when they place value on this land, everything around it change. Do you understand? It's a human being appreciate land. So the value of land is predicated on the human that is on it. So that's why I say the fortune is under your feet. So the human appreciate land. So the biggest factor in land appreciation is human migration. So if human moves to a particular place, they want the place to become more interesting. They want the place to become more amazing. And guess what happened to them? Everything changes. For instance, if you are in Abuja, you will see there are some certain places right now that, was once upon a time. And by the way, at the end of the month of April, I'm going to be in Abuja with my team. And, you can watch out for the news. I'm going to be in Abuja with more than 200 people. I'm going to be showing you first 200 people is free. But if more than 200 people, you're going to pay 50,000 to enter the class. I'm going to show you how to apply the same framework in the city of Abuja. I think this month, in the month of April too, I'm going to be in the city of Egba. I'm going to be in Abeokuta showing more than 200 people as well how to use this framework to help people to get rich and to get rich yourself. As a rector, I'm going to show you the framework and how to go with this gospel of progress, the gospel of freedom, and help more people in your life to get them wealthy. So this is possible. And I'm also, in no time, I'm going to be in Ibadan. Before I move to, I'm going to be away, being in Côte d'Ivoire on some transaction also. And then from there, I'm going to be back and go to South Africa. I'm going to be in South Africa because of the new construction deal that we're doing, about 43 units of apartment that we're starting in northwest South Africa, called the Clover apartment. And from there, I'm going to go back to Botswana in Gaborone, with our clover, mini cove estates that we're doing there. That's going to be starting before the middle of the year, while the team in Nigeria is also doing the amazing stuff and growing. But I'm saying all of these things to you to let you know, that beautiful things are happening everywhere. And I'm just telling you this so that you can take advantage. The land does not always appreciate. People appreciate land. Humans appreciate land. In other words, the value that the land has is the value that human brings to it. If a human do not place value on the land, nothing has value without the contribution of human being. So the biggest asset is not land. The biggest asset is human. So migration. Let me give you a very small statistic, and I think you're going to love it. In 1848 to 1855, 1848 to 1855, something happened in America. You see, people started moving in a particular place in America to a particular place. They were moving. People are coming from other parts of the world. From 1848 to 1855, people were moving. People were moving in America. They were moving from one place to a place. And people were coming. They were rushing. Even people land in America, they are moving in 1848 to 1855. Guess where they are moving to? They are moving to California. Why are they moving to California? Where are they going to? What is really happening in California? What is happening in California? Something was happening. People were not moving to California because of California. People were moving to California because of what is going on in California. And what's going on in California? There is a gold. Gold was found in California. In 1848 to 1855, there was a discovery of gold in California. So people were moving to California. It's called a gold rush, and people were rushing to California. If you understand the framework I'm sharing with you, and anywhere that you find this framework, as far as real estate is concerned, you have just discovered a gold. You see, anywhere you find this framework in the combination of what I'm sharing with you, you have just discovered an oil well. Anywhere you go and you find this framework, you have just discovered an amazing fortune. It's a gold rush. It's a gold rush. If you don't got the money, borrow the money to buy. If you don't have the entirety of the money, look for some money to lock it down, because you have just found a gold rush. The same thing that happened in 1848 to 1855 in the United States of America. The people were moving to California because of gold. Not because of California, but because of gold. And people were massively migrating because they discover a land of gold. So you don't need to go look for gold today. There is gold in form of land. There is gold in form of land. There is gold in form of land. But not all land are golden. It's only land that obeys the not all land are golden. So you need to understand this framework. This framework is what I'm sharing with you. So the next thing on the framework is what? It's this thing core. Migration. Now let me tell you something about this migration. And it's going to be interesting to you practically. All right. So a friend was literally was invited in the early 90s to somewhere called Morocco Sunfield. And when he got to Morocco Sunfield, and he saw this place in the early 90s, he saw this place. They were living in Yaba at that time. And two of them, somebody called them and said, I want to show you guys there's a place right now that is going for sale. Maybe you guys should come around. And two friends left the place in Yaba and they went to Morocco Sunfield. And when they go to Morocco Sunfield, guess what happened? They went to this place in Morocco Sunfield and they saw this land. And when they saw this land, they saw water. They saw waterlog, water zone. And the first guy was very embarrassed with what he saw. Like, what the hell? What are we doing here? Where am I going to waste my money? What was all this? But the second guy saw the proximity of that same Marcus Sandfield to law school and to VI, and enlarged on the land. And in the year later on in early 2000, somebody offered him 40 million, and that was amazing. In the recent time, there was a story that was going around about a pastor in Lagos that was talking about how the church bought a piece of land. They bought a piece of land for 25 million naira. And after 10 years, based on valuation of the land was worth 3 billion naira. And the news was everywhere. And people were talking about this power of 10 years in stuff. But this is what I say to people. The 10 years that was past and the 10 years that will come. You may not have taken advantage of the 10 years that was past, but how can you take advantage of the 10 years that will come? It's not a guesswork. It's a framework. And this framework is based on perspective. It's based on the philosophy that governs everything that you are doing. It's based on this understanding. So the first thing, the second thing is to understand that. To understand what? To understand the migration. Where are the people moving to? Just like this, where is the value going? Money moves. Money does not snooze. Money moves. Money does not snooze. Money migrates. Money does not hibernate. So the point is, the same thing is applicable, that if you want to create fortune from real estate, you must understand this factor. So do you understand it? So, firstly, I've shared with you that the framework is based on, number one, commerce. The second framework is based on migration. And the migration, I have a couple of questions. The one is where people moving to. Number two, where are people moving to? What is happening there? What is going on there? Where's the new set of business going? What is the news about this area? What is going on? You need to learn to do environmental profiling. You need to learn to understand the place. Not just seeing things springing up in a place, but begin to put a proper interpretation into the things that are springing up in places. Because that is what brings value. Remember, the value is not in the land. Human beings are the one that place value on the land. Because the value that the land has is a reflection of the value that the human have. Right? So, just like Walt Disney literally changed the place because of the value that they place in the place. And you see, in real estate, there are three kinds of appreciation. Three kinds of appreciation. Three. There is no more than that. There are only three kinds of appreciation in real estate. And I need you to write this down if you can. The first kind of appreciation is what I call false appreciation. Like a lie, false. Like false, something that is false. Is not true. It's false appreciation. And many people display that today. Most of what people call appreciation in real estate, and I'm starting to bust many people's bubble, is not appreciation at all. It's just as you're paying your money to appreciate the person that is selling the land to you, because there is no appreciation. Because on what framework is the asset being sold? What is the underlying structure? What is the missing structure? What is the money connection between what you are paying for? So there is a false appreciation, and a lot of people with the psychology of noise, they have been able to get people to buy things that can buy them in future. So what happened is, eliminate false appreciation in your wealth creation. Eliminate false appreciation in the wealth creation. That's the number one. Number two is what I call fair market appreciation. All right, fair what? Fair market appreciation. What does that mean? A fair market appreciation. That means it's the normal market appreciation. All right, if you buy this asset, in the next couple of years, and that's how many people try to also make investment. They make investment based on fair market appreciation. So what's going to happen is between this time and this time, you're going to have a 7% yield. You're going to have a 10% yield, and that's what most people also base their life on. You can get rich that way. You can be wealthy for sure that way. You can that is an enemy. The enemy of that concept is inflation. The enemy of that concept is recession. The enemy of that concept is physical crisis, because your life is based on fair market appreciation. You are depending on a fair market appreciation to be able to cash out in your game of real estate. So you are buying the real estate based on a fair market appreciation. The wealthy people does not get rich that way. But come on, man, don't go away. There is an hope for you. And the essence of the compel framework is the third strategy. It's called forced appraisal maximization. Something that you're forced to happen. You move it. You know what? So the wealthy people does not follow the forced market. They don't pay so much attention to the fair market. They follow the force appreciation. They force it to happen. They have the tools of their own multipliers effect. They understand what I'm sharing with you in detail, and they apply it in their life. That is what Chief Razak Okoye has applied in his life, and many wealthy people, my billionaire mentor, they have applied this thing into their life to create assets in every nook and crannies of this country and all over the continent. Why is this so? As I travel around the continent, from Addis Ababa to Seychelles, I was in a country called Seychelles, and the country is funny because the country is small. The country has a population of moderately about 200 to 300,000 people. Less than 200,000, I beg your pardon. The population is moderately about 100,000 people, and about 200,000 people visit the country on tourism yearly. That means times 2 of the population visit the country every year. It's an island in Africa, beautiful place. I mean, if you have your way, go visit Seychelles. It's a lovely place to go. But guess what happened? When I got into Seychelles, I saw that there are people that are making a lot of money, understanding the framework and being able to build their own wealth on this framework. And I understand that people have sold real estate in Seychelles to people. I was told some things about people in the Middle East that own portion and big assets of this island. Why? Because of our framework. You don't need to always buy assets where you live. You always buy assets where it thrives. You don't need to always buy assets where you live, but make sure you buy assets where it thrives. And so most people get it twisted and say, because it's far from where I live. No, it's not about just where you live. The difference between distance and economy substance. And so you get rich in real estate buying an asset where it thrives, not necessarily where you live. So if it has to be, do you like to buy it where you live? Good. That is only a bonus, because you need to understand that. So migration is key. And I've just given you what it takes right here. So what's the next thing on the compelled framework? It's called population. Population. You see, our difference can help us to make a difference. And our diversity contains prosperity. Our difference can make us to make a difference, and our diversity contains prosperity. The other time I was in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and I saw the population. I saw the population of more than 100 million people, and I saw all these people. Now, some people have started taking advantage of this structure, this framework, and because of that population, as people get better, they want to live in a better place. As people get better, they want to make a better decision. As people get better, they want to put a better value on what they live, on the surrounding, and what happened to them. Everything around them begin to change. So, practically, population is very key. All right, population is very key. Why is it that people, a nation begin to look for tourism, begin to look for people to come. Canada is looking for more people to come. More countries in Europe after the Brexit are now looking for more people, looking for places where people can come into. The UK is looking for where more people can come so that the younger people from Africa can come to Europe and UK, United Kingdom in particular, and begin to labor so that they can also generate money. Here, someone will say they're providing environment, but guess what happened? The value of the asset will also increase because the people are increasing. So value is being placed on it. The law of demand and supply is playing out every single day. Hope that is making sense to you. And look at Lagos for a minute. In the last few weeks, Lagos have been having some challenges. And what's the challenges? It's just a political gimmicks. But don't get carried away with those gimmicks. There are opportunities in Lagos. There are huge opportunities in Lagos. This is a capital city of Africa, the capital economy in the continent. By the way, let me tell you something. Lagos is practically bigger than almost 30 countries in Africa in terms of population. But the paradox of it is, Lagos is the smallest state in terms of landmass in Nigeria. Why is this so that more people are trooping to Lagos every single day? One study that I saw said about 6,000 people move to Lagos daily. That's profound, right? 6,000 people. Can you beat that? 6,000 people migrate to Lagos daily. So more people are moving to Lagos. So there are population, right? The population is there. That has its own problems, but it also has its own opportunities. That has its own difficulties, but it also has its own opportunities. So what I've learned to do is to look at the opportunity in the difficulty so that I can use it to build my own prosperity. And you look for the opportunity in the difficulty so that I can use it to build my own prosperity. So what you also need to do, my guy, is look for the opportunity in the difficulty and use it to build your own prosperity. Because most people get carried away with the difficulty and then they consider it as a predicament rather than using it as a tool of moving to the next level in their life. Population. The population of Lagos, the migration tendencies of Lagos. Let me give you an instance. In the last few days, a red line train was launched in Lagos, and which is going to be perfected in the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months. And this is what happened, guys. This train line, this red line train station, is going to be moving from Oyibo to different places, to Maitu, from Maitu to Alaba Suru. From that place, you are going to Alaba International. And so this is what happened to people. In case you don't know, all the road from that axis to Badagry has been fixed. So someone may need to pick up a land today and just buy a land in Janiki, that total environment. Pick up Amani Island if you can. Pick up, Peace, what's the estate called again? Rich Island Gardens, Rich Island Classic in the Janiki at the back of Foreign Service Academy. Why? Because migration is making easier. The population, based on mobility, that increases the value of land will begin to happen. Now, that value may not have been totally taken advantage of now because most people may not have watched this video. And so the point is, don't just buy land where you live. Buy land where it thrives. And so if you buy land where it thrives, not just where you live, remember that without commerce, don't commence. So put all of these things together. So when you saw the trend, some people are going to respond to it with a political sentiment. Some people are going to say to you, "Oh, don't mind that, what are they doing?" But that is not it. You don't need to be political or political correct to be able to create prosperity for yourself. Just look at how things are and learn from them. Interpret them properly to yourself. Don't just consume the news mindlessly. Begin to use the news to create limitless life for yourself. What's the news saying? And what can you do with the news? Somebody hear that in Ogun State now, they have opened Agri Cargo Airport, and the first plane has flew from there. And that's going to generate, that's going to generate a lot of stuff within that place. Somebody had heard that Wole Soyinka train station is very close to the Kobakwe aspect of Ogun State. And for the past few weeks, some of my guys and myself have made a post on this asset, and people are still looking at it this way. I'm like, oh, Ogun State, I live in Lagos, man. Oh, I'm from the East, my guy. I'm not going to buy land, These political people are saying, let me tell you, it's not about that. I tell people, can Nigeria divide? I don't know. Will it divide? I don't know. But this is what happened. Let's say perhaps I own land in Abuja, I own land in Port Harcourt, I own land in different places. Let's say perhaps Nigeria is no more together. It doesn't mean my land is gone. It means that I own assets in different countries in Africa. Okay, man, what about that? But let me tell you, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be around. And so this is what, don't let people use their sentiment to do you. Don't just buy land because where you want to live. Buy land where it thrives. Don't follow sentiment. Don't follow emotion. Follow economy, my friends. And this is fundamental. Look at what it is. So they're telling people about, the Itura Gardens in Kobakwe is just a 5 minute from the Wole Soyinka train station terminal, and just a 5 minute from Kuto Market, and people surrounding this entire access. Governor's office is just about less than 10 minutes drive, and the High Court, all of those things are there. There are commerce, there are industries, breweries. People are looking for where to live. People are looking, want to live in a good environment. Somebody could buy a 2 plot of land, create a mini estate within the estate for yourself. The place is beside one of the biggest schools in Ogun State, Day Waterman College, and what are we talking about? It's all about your economy. And this is the thing that people don't pay attention to. It's not distance, it's economic substance. What is the substance? The moment you understand these things, and that is why I have taken my time to share this thing with you so that you can see well. More than 6,000 people migrate to Lagos daily. Think about that in a second. It means that there is money here. It's just like, money don't hibernate, money migrates. Money don't snooze, money moves. In other words, if money don't snooze, money moves. You need to follow the movement of money so that you can create wealth. Follow the money. Follow the money. Okay, so how does that work for you today? Use that. Population. And after the population, what other framework can you use? In the compare framework, you can also use the he, which is the employment. Employment increases the value of asset. 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 Oh, because more people that work in a place. There's a place at the border of Lagos called Agbara Industrial Estate. You see, that estate has been known for many, many years. I think in the 80s, thereabout, if my memory is very correct on that, in the 80s, that's when they created the estate. It was an industrial estate. That means there were industries there. So industries were coming there, and as a result of that, when people work in the place, where do you think they want to live? Because employment. When there is commerce, there will be employment. When there is employment, the values of our asset will grow. Why? Because the number one indicators of value is human. So when more people go, the value of asset goes up there. So Agbara has been on for many years. And today you'll be shocked how much a plot of land goes there. That's number one. Number two, how much rental goes there. Why? There are industries there. There are companies there. And because of all of these things that are there, beautiful estate, good landmarks, good landscape, people are living there, people are enjoying their lives, they have lights, and guess what happened? Most people don't. It's all because it's all about value. It's all about value. It's all about value. It's all about value. So there is an employment. So when you see it, now what is the difference between this and then the last one is what I call lifestyle. What's lifestyle? School, club, hospitality, shopping mall. How close is these things that can help your lifestyle? Now, when you begin to see the emergence of these things, now the difference between hot market and emerging market is that in hot market, all of these things are already visible, but you don't get rich by visible deals. You get rich in real estate by finding invisible deals and making it visible for the people that will pay you later. So what happens is you look at this framework and you can see the missing structures. You can see things coming up that people aren't paying attention to. So people are not putting so much of value. And that's how I've been able to create wealth in real estate. I've been able to help more people to create wealth in real estate. Why? Because I'm looking for the invisible deal and I'm making them visible. That is where the money is. I don't buy what is popular. I buy what makes me prosper. Now, let me flip it on the other side to where the people have problems. People have problems because they're not able to differentiate. And that's what I'm going to hint today. They're not able to differentiate between possessor and investor. Most people buy land as a possessor, not an investor. And that's why they will tell you things like, oh, that place is far. Oh, that place is far, that place is far, that place is far. It's not close, it's not close by. What do you mean by far? Wherever you can find a compelled framework, it's not far from fortune. It's not far from economic liberation. It's not far from progress. And that is what you are looking at. But this is what happened. The difference between possessor and investor is about three things I'm going to give you. Number one, possessor buy what is popular. Investor buy what makes them prosper. One is dealing with popularity contest. The other one is dealing with prosperity concept. So it's all about what is going to make me prosper. So they want to know what I want to buy this thing for. What is it going to help me to do with my life? All right. Is it going to help to meet my purpose? Is it going to help to meet my plan? Is it going to help me do things I want to do with my life? And so that's number one. Number two, possess or buy for emotional reasons. All right. Is emotion good? Yeah, good. If I want to pick where I want to live, I want a place that can appeal to my emotions, all right? If a house I want to live in terms of renting the house and doing whatever, I want to appeal to my emotion. But most importantly, if I'm building the house, I need to find an hybrid point for myself where it meets my emotions and it also, most importantly, meets my economic needs. So that tomorrow, if I choose to sell this asset, I'm not going to get stuck in my emotional bias. So, possessor buy based on emotional reasons. Emotional. For emotional sake. Investors buy for economic sake. Thirdly, investors buy, possessor buy based on guesswork. Investors buy based on framework. And fourthly, possessor buy based on instinct. Oh, that's why most sometimes possessors can get rich accidentally, but all the time investors get rich predictably and by design, because they follow design, they follow a formula. And the formula they follow that I found out in the last 12 to 13 years of my life, and that's what I've used predominantly, is the compel framework. It's a framework, not a guesswork. And so there are things in different places that can help you. And if wherever you are, if you can take these things I've shared with you today, and you have used it, and you have been able to pull these things in concept, guess what happened, man? You are going to get things done. And that is, for me, a fundamental. And that is where I've come to share with you today. I've come to show you how this thing works. And finally, let me tell you this. If you begin to understand these things, you will realize that land do not write you a check. People do. Land do not write you a check. People do. So if a land did not write you a check and people write you a check, what do you need to do? You need to pay attention to the demand and supply principles that I've been sharing with you. So look at it. I'm rounding off right now. I have about 5 minutes to round off right now. Look at this principle. There's what we call passive value, and there's what we call actual value. Passive value is something that changes. Actual value is something that constant. You cannot change the constant, but you can change what changes. You cannot change the constant, but you can change what changes. So the passive value changes, and the actual value does not change. So what's the difference between the actual land, the actual value of a land in the VI, and the actual value of a land in a similarly remote area now? Nothing. But then, why is it that people pay different things for the land in the VI and the land in that remote value? Passive value. In other words, the passive value is what determines what people pay. And what helps you, what I call the passive value multiplier, is the compare framework. The moment you know how to bring out the compare framework from an asset, you will be able to do what I call passive value multiplier. You'll be able to increase the passive value. And the moment you can increase the passive value, guess what happened? People will pay you more, because the variable, you can control the variable. And the passive value is a variable. You can control it. So the moment you know you can control the variable, guess what happened to you? That will change everything. Now, it is this variable that most people don't know how to control. So they buy land, they go into the business, or they're trying to buy land, and at the end of the day, you are hearing them saying things like, I bought this land for a long time. This land is not even making me any money. And some people literally just create the false value, and because of they create what I call the false appreciation. And as a result of that, you don't even make any money from this land, because they have sold the 3-generational price of the land for you today in the name of whatever it is. But or you are dealing with the fair market appreciation, but you don't get rich that way. The only way you get rich for sure, get wealthy for sure, buying land. And I told you at the beginning of this class today that investment in land is the core of a real estate investment. And you know what? So this means that you need to understand this. There's a difference between passive value and actual value. If you want to, it is the variable that you can control. The moment you know how to use the variable and how to tweak the variable, you will create an asset for yourself. Remember, I said to you before, who make land useful? Human beings. So it is human beings that make land useful because they apply the law of utilization. Because if you change the usage for a thing, you will change the value of that thing. So if you change what you use the land for, if you change how you use the land, you will change the value that is on that land. Change the value, change the usage, change the value. Change the usage, change the value. I said in my book, The Real Estate Cash Flow Machine, that if you go through a place in Otiba, Computer Village in Lagos, for those that are conversant with Lagos, Nigeria, you will find something. There will be a piece of land. There will be a piece of land that people use. So today I was at the immigration so that I can get a passport for my twins. And when we got there, I realized that one of the aspects of that place was used for a park lot. And this land is quite small, and you can pack in almost about 40 cars. And these 40 cars, right there somewhere in Ikeja, these 40 cars pay 500 naira to park. And there are always a series of almost, let's say all day, they're going to pass about 40 cars in the garage. And these 40 cars is going to generate for them 20,000 naira minimum. Sometime average they will do 30,000 a day or 40,000 a day. But let me use the average of 20,000. So average of 30,000, it means that in 10 days, in 25 working days, how much are they going to generate? They're going to generate 200, 500,000. And then in average of 10 months, that land, bare land, because of the number of people that comes to that axis and they need to use a place, so they're literally using the bare land to generate a 5 million naira. Because if you change the usage, we change the value. So they decided they will have locked up the place without putting it on the park. They didn't do anything to that land apart from there's a gate, and then people move in and park their car where they try to fix whatever they're fixing at the immigration. And beside it also, I saw another building that is under construction. Is a lodge, and this lodge is not completed. And today I saw that more than 15 or 20 cars is also parked there, and they're charging 500 naira. Practically, these two set of people are making roughly about, in average daily, about 50,000 just beside each other, just parking cars of people that flux into the environment, and they're making money. Now that land will have been there and it will not make any money, but people troop into that place, and the people that owns this asset were able to interpret properly to their own advantage the movement of people to that place and find a way to serve those people with the what they own. And in a year doing that, they will generate 5 million to 10 million naira. That's how interesting land is. So you live in Lagos, you live in Ibadan, you live in Abuja, you live in Ghana, you live in Togo, you live in Burkina Faso, you live in Cote d'Ivoire, you live in Cameroon, you live, in Kapuria, you live in wherever you live, in South Africa, you live in Lesotho, you live in Namibia, you live in Gambia, you live in all of this, you live in Mauritius. Because what happened, guys? You can always create wealth. And this is fundamental. And as I round up, I want to say this to you. When you hear the word city, from today, I need you to know that the word city is an acronym. And I have an acronym for it, and it's going to interest you. CITI stands for community, interest, transportation, and your responsibility. In other words, commerce, community, interest of people, transportation, mobility, and your responsibility in all of those ecosystems is what we call a city. City is built, is not made. City is not given, it's built. In other words, the moment we begin to look at how to create more commerce, how to create mobility for people, so today, more people are going to get more prosperous in some part of the country. Lagos in particular, Ogun State is connecting to it. Abuja, Port Harcourt, Calabar, as people take cognizance of this connectivity, with interest and transportation and mobility, city emerge. And the fortune is an emerging market, not in the hot market. Hot market is for people that are already made. Emerging market is for people that want to get made. And that is the clarity I need you to have. Now, this is my offer for you today. If you have been blessed today, if what I've shared with you has really made a whole lot of sense for you, just put it on the comment what you have learned. I really appreciate you for that. And before I go, I want to make this offer, and this offer is only for a few persons. And we have an estate today called PG Gardens in a place called Abaraja in Ikotun, Lagos. And this estate already meets the fundamentals of market, of trade, of community. That it's amazing. And at the beginning of this meeting, I told you about a 300 square meter of land that is 14 million, but more than 10 people have made an offer to pick up that land, and it's just 2 minutes work from this asset called PG Estate. PG Estate is going for 15 million, but at this stage, the company have decided to offer PG Estate for about 10 plot of land is going for 7.5 million. And someone will ask, why are they offering a land of 15 million for 7.5? And that's a good question, and I would like to answer that question on your behalf right away. The reason why this investment is going for 7.5 is connected to different parts. Alaba International is just a train stone away. It's in the biggest local government in Lagos, Alimosho local government, and it's amazing. The place is fully developed. Now, this land is going for 7.5 right now. And guess what happened? Because the company decided to do this so that they can get some money from the land and then use that money to fill up the place in about 60 to 90 days. And immediately that is done, the land is going for 15 million, because people that want to buy it, remember the law of demand and supply. There are more people that want to pick up this piece of land, but what we are doing for them is to peel it up and sell it for 15 million. So you now that is picking up this land for 7.5 million, you are having, when you make a deposit of this money, you are literally making money 100%. And I can show you this, I can guarantee this for you. And so what am I saying to you? If you are fully interested in buying money at a discount, this is for you. I want to show you how to buy money at a discount. So if you want to buy 15 million at 7.5, this is for you. In 90 days, this land is going to be totally filled, and your land will be allocated to you a maximum of 4 months. All right. So, and by the time the 10 people are already subscribed for this, which we have started getting signed up already. As of today, I was told about 4 people already signing up for this deal. So out of the 10, so it's 7.5. But another good news for you is this. This 7.5 million, you don't need to have the money once. You can choose to do this payment for 4 payments, maximum of 5 payments without any interest at all. In other words, and guess what? You are not going to pay for any developmental fee on this land, because we have given it to you without a developmental fee. All right, so, and the land is going to be fully sand filled on your behalf in the next 3 months. Based on our engineering team, the full filling of the place is going to be done in about 3 months. But you still need about another 30 days for the place to be stable, 90 to 60 days for the place to be stable. And you can choose to build on it. Apartmental buildings, people are going to live there. It's an estate. Estate, duly layout estate, registered document. And also, if you want that, because you're watching this tonight, with just a deposit of $1 million, you can say, I want to be part of it. And all you need to do is to put a comment on the section and say, I want to be part of it. And I'm also giving you a special stuff tonight. If you're here, I'm going to give you for 6 months to be able to pay this money without any further interest on it, because you have stayed along with me today. But remember, it's only 10 plots, and the company cannot do more than 10 plots of the land. It's 7.5. You can spare the payment because you're watching me today for 6 months, and then you can make a deposit of 1 million today or 1.5 million, and then you are making 100% of your money by doing that. The estate is called PG Estate Abaranje, Lagos, Nigeria, in Ikotu, and it's Alimocho local government. What have I said? Because I've only shared the principle with you, I've shared the framework with you, and I think you should also take advantage of this framework. And this is why I've come to tell you this. And if this is something that you would love to be part of it, please do not hesitate. It's going to sell out, nevertheless, but I would love that you are part of the people that make this money, because people are going to make a lot of money from this. All right, so guys, that's the offer tonight that I have for you. If you want to be part of this offer, put it in the comment section or chat me privately if you don't want people to know you're coming on, because your privacy is yours and you're confidential. We keep your information because you are professional. So practically, I believe you have learned something today. And if there's anything you have learned today, I would like you to put it on the comment section, what you have learned and what is your own action steps. All right, that's one thing I need you to do. And secondly, I need you to share this video. Don't go out of here without sharing this video. Let's help more people to get better today. Share this video, share this content with people, and it's going to be of help to a lot of people. All right, and use this too. If you're a rector, if you're a consultant, if you have people to buy assets, listen to this again and again, and you'll begin to find more opportunity all around you. All right, guys, thank you very much, Mr. Taiwo Adeleke, for joining me. Sent Oyiloye, my strategic partner in Abuja. I love you, guy. Thank you for joining Chukwemeka. Thank you for joining me. Joseph, my guy, thank you for joining me. Abdul Rashid, thank you for joining me. Honor Pascal, thank you for joining me. My brother Ojukutu Aziz, I'm honored to have you today. Adewusi Alade, thank you, my guy. I'm so honored to have you. Oluwasami, my G, what's good, bro? I love you guys. Thank you, Mr. Wale Daudu. I honor you. Thank you for hanging out there with me. Thank you, David Olufemi. I'm honored to have you here today. Thank you, Hobina. I appreciate you. Ade, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here I'm honor. Thank you, thank you. Clint, Kevin, what's good, brother? Thank you, everyone, and people that can't really figure it out today. Oh, my brother just joining us. Sarami, Kolawale, thank you guys for joining me. I'm honored to have you guys here today. All right, in time and within time, I'm so honored to be here with you guys. And I will be going right now. But remember. Oh, Engineer Lasisi, how you doing, brother? Thank you. Many blessings, man. I believe your fasting is going well, right? You're enjoying yourself. Good one. All right, guys. If you've learned something today, don't keep it to yourself alone. Share the content. Hashtag Tadikash. Try to give me whatever you have learned. Share a word with, put it online. Hashtag Tadikash. All right, and share this video for me, and that's all I'm asking for you today. Help me to share this video. Let's reach more people. Let's help more people, and that's what it's all about. My idea is to help you so that you can also help yourself and help other people. All right, there is nothing that is wrong with our nation that cannot be corrected by the people in the nation, and so you and I have a responsibility to pay. This is the age of collaboration, not necessarily of mindless competition. So, the good that you do for others, God is going to find a way to get back to you on it. And so, thank you very much. I'm so honored. My name is Tade Cash, and I'm here to make you rich. Until I see you again, peace, love, and cash flow. Bye, guys. Love you all. I love you plenty. Please, don't forget, share the video right now. Right now. Bye.